You, up there, you're watching this, right? Theoretically, because you want to see a little goofy little guy talk about whatever the heck he's going to talk about every week, right? Gang, welcome to Afterblast. Welcome to the Spiral. So welcome officially to Gatekeeper 1.0. What's going on, gspree gang, and welcome back to another deck building roguelike game. But check it, slap some cards on a character and put them on a gridded field with randomly generated enemies, and let's do it. gspree gang, welcome to Shuffle Tactics. Welcome back to Nowhere Profit. That's right, gang, we're back in the Vortex. Welcome back to Windblown. What's up, gang? Welcome to Orcs Must Die Death Trap. So we're here to chat about Shroom and Gloom today. gspree gang, welcome to Dead Zone Rogue, a brand spanking new game. gspree gang, welcome to Nordhold, a city building tower defense roguelike that I actually love. Welcome to the Royal Rite, or Royal Writ. I'm honestly not sure. There's no E, and I haven't seen this word before in my life. gspree gang, welcome to RoboQuest, a game that's been on my radar for way too long, but also apparently not that long, actually. It just released fully in 2023. But no, here I am playing Slay the Spire again on my computer, and that'll never change because I'm buying it from the Steam winter sale for $2.49. Hey all, gspree here, just to about round out the year. As you all know, it's been a fantastic year for video games, and the roguex genre falls under that umbrella somewhere, so I'd have to agree with the general populace. So today I wanted to revisit some games that I played and made videos on throughout this year. Somehow most of them were actually released this year, so I'm actively in the loop on something, which is a real change for me, and very not normal. But I also made a video on some classics like Hades and Nowhere Profit, and introduced myself to honestly, a titan in the industry, RoboQuest, which if you haven't tried it, you should try it. I don't really want to make this video centered around singular rewards or categories. I really just wanted to be like an elementary school track and field day. You run around, throw some pool noodles instead of javelins, you get in a beanbag sack with somebody you've never talked to before, and then you have your best friend of the entire year's mom who you've never met before time your 20-second long 100-meter dash. You know, that kind of stuff. But really quick, I did just want to say that my #1 game this year was Nine Kings, if you couldn't tell based on the two videos that I put out this year. Absolutely gushing over the beauty that is this game. Both videos are outstanding in my opinion, so if you're interested in something to do, they will be around on my channel if you want to go check them out. Nine Kings even got recognized by Megacrit, saying it is the most fun game they've played this year, and it spirals into degenerate builds that just completely break the game. So if you like roguelike deck builders, Slay the Spire developers themselves are recommending this game and saying this is one of the best deck builders they've played this year. But I'm also excited to see what they do in the future because apparently this game is still in early access. I checked some dev notes and we don't really have a solid release date, but they just keep releasing general great updates, like a new game mode and literally everything else you could ever think of in this game. You need to check this thing out if you haven't already. The demo is still live, so go play it. I have nothing bad to say about this game. I absolutely love it. Staying in early access news, I played 8 games this year that were either in early access at the beginning of the year or entered early access from a demo stage. The #1, of course, being Windblown, which if it wasn't released in October of 24 would be my #1 game this year. But 2026 is going to be a huge year for Windblown, as that's when they're projecting to release 1.0. There have been new weapons, new trinkets, new mechanics, new maps, new everything, expanding the storyline, bringing you to new corners of the Vortex. Anything you could ever want has been added to Windblown this year. From the makers of Dead Cells, Motion Twin has been honing their isometric hack and slash roguelike throughout this year with constant updates. Some being smaller bug fixes with quality updates, but we've still had 7 gigantic content updates, like the most recent Fungal Bloom update, which again just adds a little bit of everything, including a brand new stage to go to. Then finally, Die in the Dungeon has been getting some pretty big updates that I've kind of just been avoiding and like stockpiling, so that the next time that I go and revisit that game and just really dive into it again, I just get met with, oh my gosh, this thing's new, oh they changed this, oh they added these things. It's gonna be so beautiful. I love Die in the Dungeon. Recommend you try it out as well. I honestly can't accurately guess when 1.0 is going to be released, but they also have some wonderful dev vlogs up on YouTube that you can check out and kind of, learn what they're changing and what they're adding and where their head is at, really. I thoroughly enjoy sitting down for those ones. Also looking to the future, Lore is set to release in January of 2026. The boys and I are super excited for this, not just because this video did exceptionally well, but because we genuinely had a blast while playing it. A wonderful open world third-person roguelike action shooter game, which fairly punishes you for being too absorbed within the world to, move you along a little bit because you can only spend so much time on each stage. And it adds an exciting feel for you and your friends to whimsically frolic and bring forth carnage to this beautiful landscape. Island Tiles and Terratech Legions are also set to be released in 2026 from the games I played this year. I was really sucked into Island Tiles when they first reached out to me, so if you're interested in some more calm city builder deck roguelikes, city builder deck building roguelikes, trying not to just combine everything into one word, I believe the demo for that is still available if you you want to go try it out. The Terratech Legions was really just added to this list because I wanted to see what Payload Studios was doing with the Terratech name, because I really enjoyed the first iteration of Terratech. I wanted to see if they were going to remaster it or make a new game more based on the original, because Terratech Worlds is really for a specific kind of person that's definitely not me. And then Legions is more for your vampire survivors, people who like just shooting hordes and hordes of enemies in an endless survival run, which I can definitely appreciate some aspects of it, but it's not for me, and I respect that. So those are your games projected to be coming out in 2026. In the to be announced news, however, we have Castle v Castle and Shroom and Gloom. They haven't announced if they're going to be dropping a finalized product anytime soon, but I will be keeping my eyes peeled because these are absolute must-haves and excellent additions to my library. We interrupt this programming to bring you the sponsor of today's video, me. Do you like a breadth of variety in your gaming videos? Do you like to have a good chuckle while watching a group of friends play video games? Well, boy, do I have a deal for you. The gspree Overstock channel is chock full of over 70 Funny Moments videos for you to enjoy, with new Funny Moments videos dropping every single Wednesday and a Couplemon video dropping every single Monday at the same time as this video goes up. Tune in this week as the guys say what's really on their mind while doing minimum wage work in supermarket together.
Your doctor be like, oh my god, are you playing?
Imagine being the doctor that gets to put their fingers in Markiplier's butthole.
Truly the honor of a lifetime.
What do you mean? People would pay for that.
Like his honey, you'll never guess who I stuck my
You'll never
today.
believe who I colonoscopied today. Alright, so what about what actually came out this year? What about the big 2-5 for indie roguelike games? Well, first off, I want to say that everybody is a winner, though I have some that I like a little bit more than others. I don't love every game equally, but neither do you. I wouldn't make a video on a game that I don't actually enjoy. Yes, I fall off and stop following certain games that don't completely pique my interest, and I definitely go through the honeymoon phase during a lot of these video productions, because the production process is typically I pick up new game early in the week, I play through it in 1 week or 2 weeks, make a video on it, and never touch that game again. Seriously though, no hard feelings. I went so hard with Legends of Runeterra, for example, for like 2 to 3 weeks. I streamed it a few times, I talked to a couple of new people around this community, researched, played, talked, played, collected, strategized, eat, slept. I lived in Legends of Runeterra. I talked about how I wanted to do so much, unlock new champions for Path of Champions, reach actual endgame content. Then I posted a video on it and never booted the game since. Again, not because I got sick of it or decided that I didn't like the game anymore, or got bored or ran out of things to do in the game, because there's still so much more to explore. I just got other videos to make and talk about. Anyway, to show off more of my credentials, as if my channel doesn't do that already, I played 55 demos this year. Thank you, Steep Recap. Which is a shocking number because that is more than the unique games I actually own that I played this year. But we had some bangers, we had some mid-range decent material, and then we have some slop that nobody needs to see. But I'd like to give a shout out to a game that I actually returned to pretty frequently after I uploaded a video on it, because that doesn't happen a whole lot. I would come back to this game on my own free will when I had time to kill, whether or not I was playing with a friend, and that game is Dead Zone Rogue. You've probably also seen this as just B-roll in some videos when I'm talking about a generalized topic rather than a specific game, because it's easy just to understand. You have a gun and you shoot stuff. It's really simple as a concept, but you go through, it's like a dungeon crawler, collect guns, you know, you do specific missions that all offer a completely different and unique feel to the game and the run. This game is also rolling out new DLC, both paid and free, that offer new content, and this game has only been out for officially 4 months, with the 1.0 dropping in August. But coupled with the amazing look, sound, feel, everything about this game, it's so beautiful. Also with a newer-ish endless game mode, like arena style map where you just shoot waves of increasingly more difficult enemies until you just can't do it anymore. I will continue to come back and do more things in this game in the future, whether or not they add more content. Alright, and that's it. That's all I got. I've made videos on like 33 or 34 video games this year, and those are my standouts and the only ones I actually care about. You know that's not true. You know that's a big lie. You've seen this before multiple times. In no particular order, here are some big games that I possibly will return to and make a video for on this channel next year. Please note that all of these games did fully release this year, and there are 3 that I only played the demos for, so let's start with those. First up is The Spiral, an ambient-filled cave exploration roguelike adventure that answers the question, what if there was a dungeon crawler set inside Skyrim-esque dungeons? The Spiral is all about searching for a way out, coming face to face with dungeon-dwelling spiders, so spider warning. Skeleton, wizards, and other explorers are guards, who I actually didn't get a chance to check their credentials or what they're up to down here, but I know they're not friendly. Shape of Dreams. As far as gameplay goes currently, if you've played Lost Ark, you've pretty much played all there is about the actual gameplay and fighting mechanics, where there's just swarms of enemies and then sometimes a boss, sometimes swarms of enemies and a boss, and you run around the circle, run around the field, run around the generated stage and just kill everything. And then after you get finished killing everything, then you hit something, get your little reward, and then you go on to the next stage. It will be up to 4 people, so it's gonna get pretty chaotic if I do say so myself. But I will warn you, this game is difficult. Like, it's Warden's Will beta 1 type levels of difficult. So you should not be expected to beat it on the first try. Because it's a roguelike. Shuffle Tactics. A grim-themed, stage-based, roguelike, deck-building, turn-based RPG with little anthropomorphic characters. You play as Dobrnight, a swordmeister who's trying to prevent the cursed corruption called Glimmer that Ogma unleashed across the entire world while trying to revive his waifu. Well, he didn't try, he succeeded, which is why the world is like this. I think that's pretty much the plot, right? I mean, is his queen, so maybe waifu's too much of a playful term, but Dobrnight is on his journey to the capital to just go beat up King Ogma. How's that for cinematic award shows? I don't like one of these games over any of the others. In fact, they are all uniquely in their own genre. The Spiral is a mysterious first-person style dungeon crawler role-playing game. Shape of Dreams is a MOBA co-op dungeon crawler, and Shuffle Tactics is a grid-based deck builder RPG. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in all of these games, so would be so down to visit their full releases. I will have 5 left on this list, so let's do another 3 at a time. Orcs Must Die Death Trap. It has super entry-level roguelite aspects, and that's kind of why I'm really on the edge of if I want to call it a roguelite. Now, obviously, there's a lot of roguelite aspects, and it's about as roguelite-y as Hades is, in the fact that you go through your run, you get, in this case, skulls to boost traps, unlock traps, upgrade yourself, upgrade your character, damage, stuff like that, to then be better equipped for future runs, and then get more skulls, upgrade. Circle of Roguelites repeats itself. Nordhold. I have not had a game plague my weekend like this did in a long time. I was doing so well, I had a video and a half ready for this channel for Mondays, and I was actually going to get ahead for the first time, I think, this entire year. Then boom. The average roguelike experience. And Terminal Brigade, kinda. Now, immediately upon opening this game, we hit some glaring features that make it incredibly obvious that this game is free to play and live service.
I want to gamble now.
So let's spin that wheel. Oh, nothing? Really? Who'd have thought? I mean, this is mostly for cosmetics, which is that gacha style that I alluded to earlier. It's gonna be in the video game, but it's not gonna be like an absolute necessity that you keep doing more pulls. Although it is summer right now, which means beach fan service. So necessity, not necessity, like where do we stand on that? So if you'll excuse me, I'm about to spend 5 hours of a living wage on a free-to-play game. Orcs Must Die Death Trap and Nordhold are pretty high barrier to entry, and you have to really give it a chance, or 2 or 3 or 4, because it's not something that you can easily hop into as a new player and really have it figured out by yourself in 5 to 10 hours. The newest installment of Orcs Must Die is really enjoyable, however. The missions felt fairly clean, and it's definitely styled more towards co-op, which is a bit of a bummer if you really just want to play by yourself and don't want to have to deal with any randos just cramping your style. But upon release, this game felt like you were at a massive disadvantage if you were playing solo. So unless they balanced and made some changes between then and now, which is entirely possible, I'd really only launch into this game if you have a group of friends to play this with. But I really like the Orcs Must Die universe and this game. The traps are fun and the maps are huge and kind of hard to understand how to path enemies, but once you get that point, or once you just look up a guide at where to put your barricades, it's pretty fun. Nordhold, on the other hand, takes tower defense and city building to a completely nether level by combining the two. This game is incredibly difficult to learn if you're just trying to do everything by yourself, which is how I like to do everything. But once you kind of figure it out and beat the first boss and kind of gain your bearings, it feels really rewarding, like when you hike up to the top of a plateau and you can kind of mush on for a little bit longer. Once you beat that first boss, that's like hitting that first plateau. For some reason, difficulty just levels out for a little bit until you have to go up another mountain. A few weeks ago, I tried this for the first time since uploading a video on it back in like April, and I completely lost all of the bearings that I had. Fish out of water, wheels off of a car. I didn't know where to start, what buildings to prioritize, what towers to prioritize, what resources to manage. There's just so many things happening all at once and not enough resources to take care of it all. There's just so much in this game that I need an easier difficulty to play on at my age. I also mentioned Terminal Brigade. This game is alright, but it's just not optimized, and the servers are mainly in Asia, so it's not really for the NA audience quite yet, which means there's also just not a lot of people playing playing it. There's too many currencies and things to unlock outside of runs in the world of the gacha pull systems, but there's not enough stuff to actually do in the games gameplay-wise and run-wise. You just keep doing the same 2 missions at a higher difficulty and then a higher difficulty until you hit like difficulty 10 and unlock a 3rd type of mission. It's alright, it has a lot of potential, and I'd love to actually see what that stuff is once it's unlocked, but I'm not really optimistic. I would love another shot at the live service roguelite game, and if you're interested in kind of what that is, my video more talks about that as a concept rather than just Terminal Brigade specifically. Then, ladies and gentlemen, again in no particular order, I just kind of talked where the script led me. Here are 2 final action roguelike games that I really loved this year. Wardensville, because if you didn't know, we don't have ammo here in Wardensville. Instead, you build up heat, which you dispel by using your right click, which is your secondary fire. Each gun has a completely unique secondary fire, just like they have a completely different primary fire, and the Red Rifle uses a shotgun to dispel heat. It's a very close range but very powerful shot, so it provides a good contrast of having long range and short range. But how does it actually feel to use? Here's a boss fight behind me, because this is where guns are really going to be important. During boss fights, the only thing you can do is dodge and jump, so abilities are completely disabled. Also, great job picking up all those on-kill augments. They don't do anything here. And Gatekeeper. A lot of stuff has changed, because it's been 16 months and a journey throughout early access. But if you're new here, you might be saying, what the heck is this game, and why are you trying so desperately to show it off? Maybe even a little too desperately. Okay, buddy, you know, why don't you calm down for a second? I like this game, and I want to share this game. I don't think this is desperate, is it? It might seem desperate because of the way that, you know, you're supposed to craft a thumbnail and a title these days, but I promise... I just want to talk about the game. And yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I think you should give it a shot. Honestly, 2 of the same from face value. They are Risk of Rain 2 adjacent, but offer so much more. I've done so much talking about Wardensville that I might as well make another playlist. And Gatekeeper is still getting updates. In fact, they just got something to add some extra Christmas decorations and announce a new DLC coming out in Q1 2026. You might see more from these 2 games. Both are wonderful with friends. And whenever we do anything in Gatekeeper, we always revert to our more primal, dead brain, funny moments mentality. Is this God blessed Yowie?
Argue. Is this Christian Yowie?
Is this Yowie kosher?
Kosher? You know, I need my Yowie to be halal.
Is it halal? It's been an amazing year for this channel, and I originally set out to make it something that's hard to compete with in the future, and I think I 100% did that. My best of 2025 comes out right here on Monday next week, and I think it is the best of video I have ever made, so I hope you check it out. I think the time is definitely worth it. I'm excited but wary of what's to come, but excited to see you along the way. As usual, I appreciate you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year, as well as a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend, and I will catch you the next time you catch me.